into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yes.
Are you an Arrow fan? Then I think you're in the right spot. Hey, welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Arrow After Show. Now, if this is your first time watching, welcome. And if you are a returning fan from last season, it is so good to see you because it's been so long. Welcome. I'm Alikona Bradford, and if you'll notice, joining next to me are two brand new faces. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys and let you introduce yourself.
My name's Cullen. Hello, everyone. I've been an Arrow fan since the first season, and I am so thrilled to be on the panel this season.
And I'm Steve Kaufmann. I watched the first 2 seasons of Arrow over a weekend.
Okay, so
discovered it immediately.
Okay, so you've made it into the club. You've officially made it into the club.
Quickly.
So for any Kelly or Yael fans, have no fear. They will return next week. They just got other stuff going on this week. So let's start our show. It's a highly anticipated season 3. I don't know about you guys, but I was yearning to get to this episode. And I don't think the CW let us down at all.
No.
Oh my gosh, no.
Big show. But the first thing I want to talk about is Roy, because I feel like where we left off and where we picked up, I don't know if a time span happened or what, but all of a sudden...
5 months,
dude,
I believe.
Yeah, 5 months.
5 months.
Okay, here's my thing. You know, and I get it that we've evolved, but he's already got the mask, he's already got the outfit, he's got the arrows, he knows how to shoot the arrows. And he skipped the phase of having to wear eyeshadow. Like, I'm a little confused.
Well, he already was learning archery last season. He already had the mask last season. Ollie had it made for him. And 5 months, if you're highly motivated, you can accomplish a lot. And Thea's missing, so he
That's
is
true.
highly motivated.
It sounds like he's not up to much else. He's just...
Focus.
Red Arrow?
You know what, though?
Can he be the Red Arrow?
Here's the thing.
I think he'd be Arsenal first. Red Arrow is something that happens a little later.
Fair enough.
We've passed Speedy completely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Okay, and this is just me, because last season we talked about it on the after show. We made a lot of fun. Sorry, Stephen Amell, but we made fun of your green eyeshadow. And so I feel
glorious.
like, well, here's the thing. This is a process I think should happen. I think that Roy should start off with red eyeshadow too, and I think that he should have to graduate to the mask and earn the mask.
Well,
But that's just me.
honestly, you've already got someone doing the eyeshadow and the voice. And when you see Batman do it, and when you see another guy do it, you go, not for me.
Too
That
much?
is not
Too much?
Too many
That's
people.
his
I mean,
shtick.
I got my
Cool.
green eyeshadow on
is
tonight.
he?
You know, I'm themed out. But anyways, going back into the show though, another thing that I noticed that was a big thing or theme for me was Diggle constantly getting left out.
Yeah.
Now, good reasoning, but did you guys agree with the direction that Oliver was choosing to do so?
I feel like Oliver has a really bad habit of not learning from his mistakes, because this is not the first time he's done the you sit out, you're delicate. You sit out, don't do this right now. You sit out, I don't need a partner. And every single time it's come back to bite him in the butt, except for this time. This time they validate the same mistake that he's been making over and over and over again. And it kind of drives me crazy when someone pulls a Karma Houdini like that. So... Yeah. I'm waiting for Diggle's absence to be a huge problem for him later on.
As it should be, because Diggle's a huge part of this team.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, and it wasn't even a slow progression. It was just a cut and dry, like, no, stay back. And then
bye.
Yeah, but then on top of that, just to put salt in the wound a little bit more, Roy, you come with me. Diggle, you can stay in the office.
And Roy's my partner.
Yeah, thank you. Excuse me. Hello. And I love that Diggle gave him free reading. He's like, excuse me, here you go. Who saved your ass how many times? Please. I liked his argument.
Keeping tally marks on the wall over here.
Yeah, and I don't know how I'll feel about the show if, I mean, towards the end, obviously Diggle says, hey, you know what, you were right. You were actually right when I saw her face. My life changed, blasey, 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 as it does when you have a child. But where is that going to take the show as far as, is Diggle going to find balance between being on the streets, if you will, or is he now just an office chump, if you will, lack of better words.
I don't think he's going to stay in the office for very long. I think, especially given what happened at the end of the episode and given the casting spoilers that we have, they're going to need all hands on deck. So I don't think he'll be down for long, and I think that while he is out, we're going to have massive problems.
Yes. Well, I think this team's going to have a lot to handle.
Feel like
from this point on.
Yeah. I feel like, piggybacking off of something that you'd mentioned as far as Oliver making mistakes and either not learning from them, or I feel like he's an extremist sometimes, and especially with love. And I'm going to skip ahead because everybody out there who's watched the show before, they know I am Team Olicity # all the way, all day, every day.
Yeah.
And so, he finally Diggle is always the voice of reason, right? And he tells him, dude, like, it's your time. You can have what I have. And she's right in front of you. And even Sarah had made a reference about loving somebody without a mask. Yeah. And so every time it seems like he gets a little boo-boo and something bad happens, all of a sudden he completely backs away and he's like, nope, can't have this life. I'm going to cut myself off. And it's like he's not only punishing himself, but indirectly punishing the other person that he's involved with.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't understand how to balance yet. Diggle has figured out how to be in the service, how to have a career fighting people, and still be able to balance romance and whatnot on the side. Oliver hasn't tried, and he's doing that thing where he's doing something that requires a lot of practice, and he fails at it and immediately goes, I failed, I'm done, I can't do it. No,
No, can't do it.
Yeah, well, it's like when he finally gets to go on the date, which we'll talk about. Don't worry, we will talk about that date.
Yeah.
But when he finally does go on the date and the whole bomb happens, the first thing he just defaults to is, I wasn't focused. It's because I wasn't focused. It's because I was actually, having a life and exploring that side of me.
Because you were acting like crime rates plummeted and you might be able to live 2 lives.
Right, right.
Up until that RPG, he was actually within his right to be like, no, I think things are... Like, I have to do this minimally.
Yeah. Let me ask you then, since you bring that up, though, I thought it was a really, really cool twist the way the writers had... Vertigo obviously causes your biggest fear to come out. And when it turned into Oliver, because, I saw all the spoilers and I saw Arrow versus Oliver and I didn't know how they were going to pull that off. Yeah. But as soon as it happened, I was like, yeah, so smart. But what did you feel about that as far as the him-on-him crime, if you will?
I thought that was awesome. I also thought it was a good nod to the fact that he sees himself not as the Arrow, as a bit of a problem, that on the island and now in Hong Kong, and where this 5-year adventure he took created the Arrow, created this person that he's actually very comfortable with, this selfless, loveless person that went a whole season just killing people. Right. That he's afraid of being anything else, including himself.
Well, they mentioned back in Hong Kong, great line.
Yes.
The gentleman, and I'm sorry I did not catch his name. I know his wife's name. I didn't catch Tatsu's husband.
I don't think they gave her.
I don't
think they gave a name.
But I like that he had said a man cannot lead two lives.
2 names.
Or 2 names.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, very cool. And very cool twist on Amanda Waller's behalf. We see these flashbacks. It's different because, he's progressed from the island. I'm hoping to see Manu Bennett in the future. I mean... Don't like the character, but I love the actor. Yeah. But outside of that, she took that big twist as far as, and very smart, I'm going to constantly beat you down. And obviously a beating doesn't work. So family. Okay. Yeah. And when the guy came out with the bowl of soup or rice or whatever, I don't know. I was like, oh, I see what you're doing.
This is not going to end well for anyone involved.
No.
It's really not.
It just won't.
But what I had read is that his wife Tatsu is actually going to be his new tutor, if you will.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Because
behind every strong man is a strong woman.
Well, yeah.
I'm just wondering why there's a Japanese couple living in
China? Hey, it can happen.
Well, yes.
Don't discriminate.
Yes, but did they go there because of his job? Does Argent have station there? Why is he there, aside from plot convenience?
Either he's there because Amanda Waller has hired him to be there, or he's an affiliate of another company that maybe she's just traveled there, but I'm going to assume he's part of whatever she's part of, which is Argus.
Yeah. Did I say Argent? It's Argus.
Yeah.
Especially given his hand-to-hand combat, that he's probably involved in some way.
Yeah. I'm wondering, though, if in the future maybe something will happen where he passes away, or some things had led to the fact that, we see her in the past, but quite possibly she might as well be in the future, which is
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people coming right and left into this show. What'd you guys think of the new version of Vertigo?
It's the Scarecrow.
Yes.
It's the Scarecrow.
I mean, it's different enough. It's wonderful. It's wonderful that it's your own worst fear, so that thematically and cinematically that makes it amazing.
Right.
I do like that they've just completely thrown the no special powers, it can all be explained rule straight out the window, because we probably wouldn't have had this kind of Vertigo without that. You kind of need to bend the rules of reality for a drug, a chemical compound, to be able to pick something to do psychology.
Right.
And pick your worst fear out.
Right. I was actually surprised that the gentleman playing him, off the top of my head, I don't have his name, but I will.
That guy
from Prison Break. Great casting, by the way. So but I've got his Stormware is his last name, I think. Anyway, either way, I was really
great name.
Yeah, I was really surprised that he was come and gone so quickly. I thought he was gonna last a little bit longer, but apparently staying with the whole Arrow thing, a lot of times villains come and go each episode, but then occasionally you get one that lasts throughout at least a few episodes. So yeah, very surprised that he was
villain.
gone.
Peter Stormare is the actor's name.
Thank you. Hey. See, engineers on it.
What good am
Booth
I
guy.
with my laptop?
Thank you, booth guy.
Oh, that's so messed up. So messed up. Just the booth guy. He's got demoted. No name necessary.
I don't need a name.
Yeah,
he's an engineer. He went to engineering school.
That's enough.
Became an
He's
engineer.
intelligent and he's super smart and runs our cameras. That's why we have a show. Okay, so anyway, going back to this gentleman who was hunting down Arrow, Arrow, and he's got the bombs going on everywhere. I want to go back to the bomb that was the date. So leading up to, because I guess
literally and metaphorically.
Yeah. Wow. So no, I thought it was very sweet. The whole interaction between him for a moment there, obviously he took it back, but what a screwed up way to take it back. Either way,
I just love some of the setup. Do you like Italian? People like Italian, right? Everyone likes Italian.
It's a thing, right?
Seriously, dude? How long has it been since you've taken someone on a date that wasn't a one-night stand?
A very long time, apparently. Yeah. I liked his lineup, too. Something he'd mentioned about all his exes to Diggle. He's like, well, my last ex was this, and the other one is now a
League of Assassins, and then shot my other ex.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, wow.
You sure know how to pick them, dude.
Sucks
should
for
pick
you.
a normal one.
Right. Felicity's just like, compared to all
Felicity
the
is
others.
our badass normal.
Oh,
I adore her.
Absolutely. And I am so mad. We decided he's going by Roy Palmer. I can talk tonight.
Yes.
Because we thought it was Ray and then Roy, and I thought it was weird.
Ray
It's Ray.
It's Ray.
Ray
Okay,
Palmer.
there
It's
can't
the
be two
Atom.
Roys.
Wikipedia
It's the
says
Atom.
Ray.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, ironic that we have another former superhero now on the show, formerly Superman, now playing the opposite and going to be the next up-and-coming villain. Sneaky.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm not going to use curse words. I'm just saying he's sneaky. That's all I'm going to say.
Brandon Bruce does a great job
Is he
here.
supposed to be the villain?
Yeah. Eventually, yes. In the essence of he's taking the company from Oliver. Although Oliver did decide at the very end of the episode that maybe that's the selfish version of him, and that he doesn't necessarily need to run a company, because really, when do you have time to run a company and be the Arrow and save the city?
We've already proven he can't
before
multitask.
Before that RPG, I think he could have.
Yeah.
Like that RPG was like, oh, there's still villains that require more.
But I'm going to have to go with you. I'm going to have to go with you on that. You can't even balance a date and saving the city, nonetheless trying to save a company to save the city.
Well, and I think we've kind of wound up in a sort of Batman situation here. You've gotten so used to having this caped crusader around that the villains are also used to it, and they're going to be hunting him down because he's the guy in the way. We take him out. He's created a power balance in the city, and he cannot walk away from it.
Right.
Not without very dire consequences, because that's a power vacuum, and that's villains taking over.
Right. So do you think now, because we saw the speech as far as Oliver's speech versus Ray's speech, and I'm assuming he's now going to be taking the company? I don't know if they were pitching basically
I'm
to
pretty
see
sure they're
who's
going
who.
to go with his pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's no, he razzle-dazzled them.
We're taking it into the future, and we're saving the city and Phoenix
Star
metaphor.
City. Well, and then you have the nerve to go after the dude's girl. I mean, granted, he probably doesn't even realize,
No,
but still, he's going diehard for Felicity and obviously tricking her to get information. But one of the things that the writers had mentioned about having a lot of fun writing for this character, because you finally have somebody on the same caliber and the same speed as Felicity outside of Grant,
Yes.
Barry Allen, excuse me. And they have the techie computer talk and this, that, and whatever. So they align in that sense. And I don't know if maybe somewhere in his mind he thinks he's flirting. I'm not quite sure. But either way, cool, but at the same time, go away, is my opinion.
He seems like the kind of guy who makes a pass at every pretty girl who comes his way
quite
and
possible.
doesn't quite comprehend how to take no for an answer.
I could see that. I could definitely see
I'm
that.
not fond of him.
No, I'm not either. He's not my
Good-looking
favorite.
people. Good-looking people tend to have that about them.
Right.
That is just where it's just like that they'd be more shocked if someone wasn't interested. Like, wait, what?
Hey, Stephen Amell's quite good looking, and
yeah.
he doesn't carry that persona.
I'm sad that we didn't have any salmon ladders this episode. I was kind of hoping for some salmon ladders.
I mean, I need to see what he's been doing on this break. How have you been staying in shape? We need to see that.
Salmon ladders.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Actually, you know what? Next episode, I'm going to show some video of some parkour stuff because he really does for real train super hard. And,
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of parkour, I'm really loving what Roy is doing.
Yes.
They showed a little bit of that when his character in general was introduced back when he was a little hoodlum. And I don't know if that's him specifically doing his own stunts because obviously now he's got the hood on. I wouldn't be surprised, though, because Stephen Amell has obviously dived into this character. Originally, he had a stunt double. Still does, but now doing more of his stunts. And to me, that's really cool when an actor fully takes on the responsibility and embraces everything that character is.
Oh, yeah.
The whole point of me saying that is I really liked all the stuff that Roy was doing when he was fighting.
Oh, yeah.
There's a little gymnast up there.
Yeah.
It was really impressive
Yeah.
watching him go.
Yeah. He's definitely somebody I'm looking forward to see the development in his character, and I know they're really trying to theme it out as far as him really becoming a part of the team. So that'll be interesting, especially when Thea does come back.
Yes.
Yes.
And not to do too many spoilers, but I know there was a mention of her having a different new love interest. So I'm like, what?
Huh.
No.
Because we know that she's off training with
Daddy.
Daddy Dearest up in there.
Yeah.
And Barrowman could not be more excited for this.
Yeah, there's some really cool, I'll show again next episode, some really cool Instagram pictures of the two of them playing around. And it's so fun. I love him so much because his character has this certain very, not grim, but very serious, threatening demeanor. And then you see John Barrowman when he's doing interviews and he's just like, hey!
He does a Comic-Con panel that's
yes.
all on his own. And he's
hilarious.
He's just out.
Yes.
He's great.
I love him. One of my favorites. I want to wrap up. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I do want to wrap up the whole Olicity conversation and just talk about the final moment. Well, okay, rewind. Did anybody else notice that she got hit by some sort of debris during the bomb? Her head was bleeding. She had blood all over her. And the next day, she just looked perfect. Cover girl, perfect.
It's you go ahead.
Good makeup, I guess.
Still.
I think she'd have some really tech concealer, maybe. Would that
I
do
don't
it?
know,
Prosthetic?
but I just thought it was really strange. She should have had a cut or something, unless it was somebody else's blood all over her.
Ew. Well, really shallow head wounds tend to bleed a lot because you have a lot going on up there. It's possible that the cut was deeper in her hairline and stitches, pull your hair back to cover it, can't see it.
I mean, that's possible too, but I still would have liked at least a little butterfly bandage or something to show that you've been through something.
Yeah, but if it's under her ponytail, you're not going to see it.
True. I digress.
Anyhow,
going back though, the point of me saying all this was the big moment where he finally told her he loved her. Don't tell me not to tell you that I don't love you. I just made that really complicated. But when he kissed her, I was just like, oh, like the chemistry between the two characters, I love so much. What do you guys think about the two teaming up and then now the forced separation? He's
definitely
speechless.
a little bit. It definitely gives us a place to go. Because what I didn't want to see was him just, oh, that's my girlfriend now.
It's too easy.
Yeah, she's my booth operator, if you will, or my person on the ground, my operator.
Yeah.
And she's my girlfriend. We
We're
have these
We're a team.
We have this like flirty banter over the radio.
Right.
And then Diggle cuts in and be like, hey guys. Like that would just be too easy.
Yeah. And
like-
what do you think?
I ship it like FedEx at Christmas.
Okay.
But Oliver is not in a place where he can handle it right now. Again, he has not learned how to balance anything. And I do like that it was Felicity that said, you cannot give me maybes. You cannot keep stringing me along.
Yes.
I love that it was her choice.
Yes.
And that she refused to be strung along by this guy who does not have his stuff together.
Yeah, yeah.
It hurts.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
good for her for not being a prize to be won.
Absolutely.
Huzzah.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up because that was an amazing moment.
Yes.
Very much so. And being so strong because for so long she was the one who was swooning and pining over him. And usually when you're in that situation, it is so hard to stand up for yourself and say no.
Well, she had a massive crush on him, but she never lost her sense of self.
Well, no, not at all. But still, I just feel like that is a hard position to be in because you finally got, or you thought you got what you wanted, and now you have to walk away from it.
Better writing for women than every DC movie out there.
I can concur with that. But I do think, though, too, Felicity could bring balance in his life as well, too. And I think that he just needs to give it a shot. Yeah, your life is not together, but you're not even giving it a shot to try.
I think he needs to get his life together because it is not her responsibility to be his therapist, babysitter, etc. He's not the bad boy that she needs to fix. This is not that kind of relationship. He needs to get his noise together and then come back, and then maybe we'll be good.
So let me ask you this, though.
He figures it out.
Define getting his life together.
Figuring out that he doesn't have to be all one or all the other, not being so gun shy every time something doesn't go perfectly. Again, he has no sense of balance between a personal life and a regular life because ever since he was shipwrecked, it has always been one or the other. And Oliver Queen's just been the cover for the Arrow, which is how he sees it.
Right.
He needs to understand that the Oliver Queen side of him is every bit as important as the Arrow side of him.
Right.
And until he does, he's not going to be ready for a relationship. And he will pretty much tear apart anyone that he falls into bed with.
Right.
So,
Literally.
yeah,
Couple people
he
in
needs
the-
to figure his noise out before he can come back to her because it's not her responsibility to do it for him.
Yeah.
I have opinions.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's fantastic.
And a couple people in the chat are saying they really like Barry Allen with Felicity instead.
No!
Denied.
What?
Boo
I
on
like
that.
that.
Come on.
I don't mind that, but he's in his
No.
own show.
Thank you.
If she
So
hooks
glad
up
for
with
that.
Ray, I'ma flip some tables.
That seems like another possibility.
It could be.
Tables
but still.
flipped.
Still.
Goodbye.
She will go to Target and buy a table.
I will bring in a tiny table here and just flip it on the AfterBuzz set. Just
no.
boop, little table.
But going back onto what you were saying, though, Oliver gave a really good speech, and he explained himself a little bit more, which is stuff we know, but for him to say it out loud, it's almost like he's saying it to admit it not only to himself, but to reveal himself to Felicity when they were at dinner. And he had said, you know, being on that island and being in Hong Kong, unfortunately, it conditioned him to not trust anybody and to see people as nothing but targets or threats. And for Felicity to be the first person he saw as just a human, a person. You know, so it's going right off of what you said as far as he's got so much to work out.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's just, I mean, that doesn't happen overnight. I still want him to have love, but yeah, that definitely doesn't happen overnight.
Your dark and tortured hero is not going to be good boyfriend material.
They never.
Full stop.
They never are.
Damn them. You know from experience, huh?
No,
I totally
Are you a dark and tortured hero?
I am.
Can you do the voice?
I can do the voice.
No, you can't. Can you do the voice?
Oh, are you talking about this voice?
Oh, wow. Wow.
Me as a dark tortured superhero, I don't actually use this voice.
You have failed this podcast.
I did.
Anyway.
Did not take me long to divert this place to bits.
Yeah. Anyway,
Going back to
continuing
Detective
on.
Lance's heart problems. Because he does have heart problems. They made that
poor
very,
man.
yeah, they made it very blatant with the whole pill popping. It's like they wanted to physically let you know, not just a ode to my heart, let me put my hand on my chest, but actually he's taking medication for whatever is going on, which landed him in the hospital. Well, actually, no.
Massive internal bleeding and organ damage
Yeah.
from last season.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're pain pills, though.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
But, and I love the moment where he said, you know, all I know how to be is a cop.
yeah.
And it gives a lot of explanation because at this point, dude, you have a promotion, like kick back, chill. But it's like, that's his purpose in life. What does he do after that?
So the theme of this season may well be figuring yourself out in this new role. How do you temper what your personal life should be with what your work life is?
Right.
Parallelism.
A lot of it. There's always that, though. Even when they were having the island was always paralleling some sort of something going on in the present time. But really random off the topic comment that I have to make, when Detective Lance came out of his, little uniform outfit and he was bald, I went, what happened?
It's just a really short cut. It's
very
very utilitarian.
I think everyone in the show had a bit of a shortcut.
I'm not a fan of it.
Like, I think Queen had a shortcut. I think Diggle had a short. I think everyone had shorter hair.
Not a fan.
I don't mind.
From last season.
I know. It's like I said, totally irrelevant to the
something
story,
I
but it's just
noticed.
an observation. Me as a female that I made because, I like him. He's
Well,
great.
he was also in the hospital, and who knows if he had surgery.
That's true. That is very true.
So he may have just said, I don't have time to deal with this. I don't want to deal with it. Zzz. I thought it worked for him.
Yeah, not a fan. That's okay. Meh, whatever. It goes back. Hair goes back.
It does.
Either way, I want to talk about the really, really big holy crap ending that we dealt with.
Yes.
Because, here comes, first of all, just Sarah popping up in general. I was like, oh, you're back already. I mean, I expected you back for season 3, but not this soon.
Hi, all my buddies.
Hey, let me come save your butt again, because, that's what I do. And she did. And it was great. And we had the sister reunion, and, heart, we're happy and we're family. And
Don't tell Dad I'm in town.
right.
Do you not want him to know, or do you not want him to know why? 6 of one,
Exactly.
half a dozen of the other. Odds are she was there to kill someone.
And they got to her first.
It may not have even been her target who got to her first. It may have been someone else.
Right.
That's what we were talking about. That she was shot by arrows.
Correct. And you had mentioned the Dark Archer. And
But
I feel
if
like
we have Talia coming back, because Talia is going to be mad as anything that her girlfriend is dead, and probably pulling in Ra's al Ghul, because we know from casting spoilers that he will be in this season.
Right.
She was killed by an archer, and the arrow was active that night. There is a huge target on Oliver's back for the League of Assassins to track down.
Yeah, yeah. I just, it really caught me off guard. Oh, go
Caught
ahead.
everyone off guard.
Although, within this specific time frame, he would be in Central City with Barry Allen.
Right.
Like, the scene at the end of Flash would be happening at the same time that Sarah got hit by the arrows.
So that's his only alibi.
His only
Even
alibi
his
is another
closest
masked crusader.
people all went home for the night.
Yeah. That I think that has something to do with the crossover episode that's also No Secret.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
The crossover Flash Arrow episode that's No Secret. I think that's another thing.
And will be titled The Brave and the Bold.
Yeah. I believe that's coming up episode
I think
7,
so.
8-ish.
7. I feel like it's episode 8
Brave
for
and
both
Bold is
series.
episode 8.
Okay.
And then I believe it's Arrow versus Flash
Gotcha.
on the Flash TV series.
Okay.
I will say this, though. As the arrows penetrated the canary's body,
oh,
one arrow hit.
It's bad fan fiction time up in here.
Well,
and
I was going to say, and one arrow hit, and I was like, okay, it's okay. She's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Then another one hit, and I'm like, oh, that's really going to hurt. And then the third one hit, and I'm like, oh my God. And then when she fell off the roof, I was like, oh, she's done.
I was
And it
expecting her to land in the dumpster.
Nope.
The backbreaker on the edge of the dumpster was like, you could not double tap harder if you tried.
3
No.
feet from Laurel.
Exactly.
Right in front of her.
Literally.
Oh.
Like,
even
there was a moment where I was like, is she gonna fall on Laurel? Are they just
Oh,
they're just gonna kill it?
You know,
Both
that would have been
sisters? No.
2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Good night, folks. I'll be here all week.
But how horrible to just be, you just saw your sister, you just had this happy moment, you're feeling fuzzy, and then boom, just right in front of you.
Well, also for the audience, this is the wind down from the episode. The new Vertigo guy is done. We've got this stuff figured out. Okay, whatever. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they got to keep you coming back, apparently. That's one way
They
to do
could have
it.
kept me coming back anyway if they'd promised salmon ladders.
Right? 8 to the men.
You didn't
Can I get
have
another
to
high
kill
five?
someone to get me to come
I
back.
know.
Just
give me
give me
shirtless
shirtless
dudes.
Oliver.
Right.
On the Oliver versus Oliver fight, I would have liked it if they were all
Both
shirtless.
shirtless.
Both of them. That would have been great.
Wispa says he saw a theory that it's Komodo.
Huh.
Oh, I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Where are we
no,
at in
they-
my
they
conversation
shot
right now?
Sarah.
Yeah. I had heard reference of them casting somebody, and I unfortunately don't remember who it was that they cast for that. But either way, I know that we are starting to slowly wind down, and we're a little bit behind on shows this evening. So I'm going to wrap this portion of the show, and I'm going to go into our news and gossip.
What?
I'll make the music.
AFTERBUZZ TV News.
What?
News. I don't know. So I have some pictures. I'm going to have them pulled up. I know, you're speechless, right? God, I'm a host and a MC. What? Not really.
Yeah, speechless was not what I was known for.
Nah.
You know what? She's fired. We don't want her for episode 2. All right.
Boy, that didn't last long.
You know, I wanted to do a rundown of all the new cast members. Again, I wasn't really anticipating even Vertigo, the new temporary Count Vertigo, to be killed already. And then he had made mention too that, you know, not necessarily you were killing me, it's not over with, but in that reference of it's just going to keep on going and you are the reason why you have
Basically telegraphed that to the audience. There will always
That's
be
true.
another. It's like, great, we're going to see more of this guy.
right.
Or this guy's whatever.
I don't know. Are we having technical difficulties back there? Can I get my picture, please? Or is it up and I just can't see it? Y'all like
Sorry,
my...
you can't see it.
Oh, it's up though.
Okay.
Oh, it's up on
On
okay.
screen.
Is it?
The-
It'd be
you see it?
fantastic if I could see what's going on,
Yeah,
so I
you know.
know what I'm talking about. Bear with me. Okay, well,
Never
then fine.
expect you to know
That
what
is
you're
a
talking
picture
about.
of the Count Vertigo that I can't see. Let's go into our next picture then. And this is a picture of Ray Palmer, who is dressed as Superman. Boop-a-doo, because I just wanted to show the... I want to say versatility, but that's not even the word I'm looking for. I just wanted to show the irony. There you go, as former Superman now turning into the next evil villain. And then our next picture should be of Ra's al Ghul. It's Matt Nable. Hopefully it is a dual picture of half cartoon, half man. It is fantastic. Okay, I thought this was a very interesting casting just because... Obviously, well, with him returning, his daughters are going to come back, right?
Yes.
Nissa, I never say her name properly, so I apologize. I butcher it every time. She's clearly Asian. He clearly doesn't look very so much Asian. I thought that was an interesting cast. But, you know, that's not me. That's not, you know, whatever.
Hollywood
Anyway.
has a bad habit of whitewashing.
So my next picture is Supernatural alum Amy Guminik. If I said that improperly, I am so sorry, but she has been cast as Carrie Cutter, aka Cupid, and if you don't know who her character is, she is extremely obsessed with Oliver, but to the point where it's a little unhealthy. Now, a little obsession I can see.
Unhealthy obsession has never happened in this show.
Not okay.
Never.
Okay, so anyways, going to our next picture is Nick Tarabe, who was in Spartacus. He's not the first Spartacus alum. We also know that Manu Bennett, and also I believe Katrina Law is also from Spartacus as well. But he's going to appear in the crossover episodes. Leading up to the crossover episodes, he's going to be Boomerang, which is going to go into Flash. So we'll see him 7 and 8, I believe. And then my next picture, okay, so this is Devin Akoy, and I could be saying her name wrong. And when I saw her name on this casting, I went, holy cow, it's the girl from Fast and the Furious. And she also is a model. She used to be the face of Lancome forever and ever, and Chanel and Versace and everything else. She started, she's like 16. This girl is so unbelievably beautiful. And when I saw her on tonight's show, I was like, whoa, they really plain Janed her out. Because she's so pretty. And fun fact is her brother is the famous DJ Steve Akoy, who's like a really, really popular if you guys are into DJs. And then our next picture, you'll see a very cute Japanese couple. Those are her parents. Her father is the founder of Benihana's restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah, so she comes from a long line of very successful people in her family. Just a fun fact. All right.
Just like Wolf of Wall Street. No.
Yeah.
No.
Going into our next picture, it's Mama Smoke. If I gave you guys that one, it's a picture of Felicity and Charlotte Ross. Charlotte Ross was actually in Hit the Floor, another show that I had covered earlier this year who got killed off, and now I know why. But it's remarkable because the two women look so much alike, and it's cool to know that her mom is going to be coming on the show because that just means
Felicity backstory.
finally.
Confirmed.
Yep.
Finally.
Well, that's confirmed.
He's
The
got it.
title of season 3, episode 5 is The Secret Origin of Felicity Smoke.
Yes!
That's the title of
You just gave me
episode 5.
goosebumps. I don't even know why. I think because I just want to know so much about her.
I tend to do that.
You tend to do that. Hey. Okay, so next picture is a picture, it should be of a t-shirt with Stephen Amell on it and a Post-it note on his forehead saying, Fluff Cancer, because, you know, his mom had cancer. He's got a big charity going, and you can actually go online right now and you could purchase this shirt. It goes 100% of the proceeds go towards his charity F Cancer, which is super cool. because again, 100% of the proceeds, that means he pays for all the production, like everything of this shirt. So go online, support his campaign, F Cancer. I just don't want to say the whole word. Okay, next picture, please, is going to be, so Stephen Amell's wife just celebrated her 29th birthday. I just thought that was a cute picture. So, I wanted to
adorable.
Him and the baby. Okay, next picture, please. So there is going to be a Lego game, video game coming out. And fun fact is Stephen Amell actually did the VO for that.
I can't say
awesome.
I'm surprised. He's pretty protective of the role now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Good to know.
He had, I have this quote written down somewhere, but not on me. At his Emerald City Comic Con panel, someone asked if he was going to be in any DC movie that might have Green Arrow, and he said he was so protective of the role that he wanted to break his face through the table at the thought of anyone else playing it.
Wow. All right, Jinx.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Dude's amazing.
Yeah. We're going to hold on last picture till after we do predictions. So now that we've gotten some news and gossip, let's get into our predictions.
Yes.
Cool, fancy music. Do-do-do-do-do.
And now,
Do we get the light show?
Yes. Like in the club?
building it
No,
up.
not
No.
really. Okay.
I guess not.
All right, no lights.
Nope,
That's
nobody does
cool.
that.
We have
We're
been
magical on our
delighted.
own. So I'm going to start at the end of the table with the gentlemen. Please give me your
Yes.
predictions of what you think will unfold.
Well, I think obviously episode 8, there's going to be a battle between Flash and Arrow. Because episode 8 of Flash was called Flash versus Arrow. I think it has something to do with obviously Boomerang, and more specifically, that Flash is the only person that can place Arrow not on that roof to hit Sarah. I also think we're going to get the secret origin of Felicity Smoke, but we all know that. I'm trying to think of a decent origin for her. That like how would she...
You know what I wanted to predict once upon a time, and my prediction got killed, but I could swear that Slade had some random daughter or something that we didn't know about, and I would have loved for it to ironically been Felicity just because.
That would be...
In the comics, he does have 2 sons, but that's the comics. So
Someone
that's
else mentioned a
different.
daughter
That would
to
be an
me.
interesting take if she was like a long lost daughter. But they don't talk very much about like who her parents were.
Right.
Like we know she went to college, but we don't know.
You know, you made a really excellent comment when we were watching the show about the very end where we see Oliver walk into the room and Diggle's looking at his baby and talking about it and how it changes everything, and he made the right decision. And what did you say? I'm gonna let you say your piece.
What?
I said it.
Okay. It was the most amazing thing ever. Yeah, I said it.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You go.
This is going to parallel with this with the
Yes.
kid that Oliver doesn't know he has.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Thank
gonna
you.
come back and bite someone.
Yeah.
And I think I was wrong about the comics. I think it is a son and a daughter, Jericho and Tara. I don't think we'll get either of them because different adaptation.
Right.
But nonetheless, I think there
very
was a daughter
interesting.
in the comics. Anyway, I pretty much already laid out my predictions with he's been framed. They're going to think it's him. The League of Assassins is going to come down on him. It's going to be pretty rough.
Yeah.
And that he's going to have issues with Diggle no longer in the field. So that's the extent of my predictions.
My only prediction is this. At the very end, we have that small, teeny, tiny cameo of Grant Gustin, because of course they're trying to keep the crossover going, and he says, hey, I need your advice. I'm awake. So I feel like that lays out a future of him maybe talking him through something, or...
They had that scene in The Flash, actually.
Oh, see, I didn't watch The Flash,
Yeah,
so I apologize,
he-
but that's weird to have that scene in The Flash and then have Arrow air the day after The Flash and have him call him. That's not chronologically making sense to me.
Well, I think they're going to do that a lot every week.
Yes.
It seems to me that everything that happens in Starling City every week is going to be of the same
Simultaneous.
like the same general timeline as
The Flash,
Central
yeah.
City that's the day before. So
So
within
it's-
the same week.
Very interesting.
So it's setting up that the date, etc., all of this went down in the same span of the week that Barry was waking up and discovering his powers and taking down the weather guy. So we do have a scene in The Flash where he talks with Oliver and says, I don't know what to do. I don't think I'm cut out to be a hero. What do I do? How do I be like you? And Oliver tells him, no, be better.
Ooh,
Be
great
better than me.
line.
Shows how much
Great
he grew
line.
from even the second he left.
Yeah. Wow.
And it
Amazing.
also ties into what we saw in Arrow tonight.
Right.
That he knows he has problems.
Yeah.
So he wants Barry. Barry has a different start. Barry has a different origin. Be better than I am. Don't be this vigilante.
Yeah.
I terrify people. You can inspire them.
Right.
And then he threw his words back at him and told him to wear a mask.
Awesome.
So it was
Very
a great
awesome.
little scene.
Very awesome. Okay, well, I think that wraps tonight's show. I just want to give a few shout-outs really quick because before I even give the shout-outs, I'm going to start with you guys. Give your Twitter handle for me really quick before I go on a rant.
I am at Steve Kaufmann. That's Kaufmann. I host Gotham on Monday nights. I host Modern Family on Wednesday nights. And I do wrestling from time to time.
I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. I am also on Attack on Titan, Sword Art Online, and Z Nation Sunday, Doctor Who Classic before this on Wednesdays, and Ruby every other Thursday.
I need a notepad for all that. My name is Alikona Bradford. You can find me at Kiss My Passport. I'm going to have our engineer pull up one last picture just because I want to give a shout out. I'm actually working on a personal project I want to share with you guys who talk to me on Twitter. You've seen my Twitter shout outs. I'm doing my own web series. It's called Global Dance Domination. So if you're into travel, into dance, check it out. You can Google it. Global Dance Domination. The picture is up right now. You can see me and Jason Carter, who's another AfterBuzz TV host. We're hosting it together. So again, please go online, check out the trailer, support, share, and contribute. And I will love you forever. Tweet me. Until next week, good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.